question, literary question. From in the previous period, we discussed the question number 11. It was Nectar 2020, question number 11. It was on play. But today we need to discuss a question that appears in the same year, question number 12. But this question, there is only no. Let us see the question. The question states that betrayal is one of the many sources of conflict. Betrayal is one of the many causes of conflict in many societies. Show the relevance of this statement. Show the relevance of this statement in your own society. The relevance of this statement in your own society by referring to two novels you have read under this session, providing 3 points from each novel. Let us now share. When you come across this question, maybe let us try to guess what are you going to say in the introductory part, or before you start to answer this question. Can you let us share what are the things that you are going to consider when answering this question? You may try. Okay?
And when you find the fair, come to define conflict.
Okay, that is right from the introductory part. But what I want you to say in answering this question, what are the elements you are going to consider when answering this question before going to the introduction? That is what I said as the way of paraphrasing it. You didn't, right now you haven't identified the key or the demand of the question. That is what I want.
After understanding the meaning of the theory, you must show the character which you use in showing the meaning of the theory in using your own.
Okay, thank you very much. I have asked you, when you see this question, when you're reading the question, when you're reading the question, the mothers to identify the issue, the elements that are going to be considered when answering this question. What are you going to say in answering this question? That's, you can state it in a different way, you can paraphrase it. In this question, the student is instructed to prove the statement. The question asks that betrayal is one of the many sources of conflict. Now, in answering this question, you need to state that you are required to prove the statement that it's true that betrayal is a source of conflict. So when answering in this question, you get to know that you need to show us, you need to prove that it's true that betrayal is a source of conflict. But in the same question, you need to show the relevance of this statement. The relevance of this statement. It's true that betrayal causes conflict. Showing relevance here, you are needed to relate what is happening in the book and in our contemporary society. What is happening in our contemporary society? Showing relevance, that means you need to agree that whatever being expressed in the book, whatever shown in the book is also taking place in our contemporary society. That is what we mean by relevance. So in every point you need to show the relevance. What is being discussed by the author, and if it also occurs in our society. The student being instructed to prove the assessment, you can say it's true that the betrayal causes conflict, but also you need to say the issues are also pertaining, are also taking place in our society. But you need to provide 3 points from each book. You are going to use 2 books, but 3 points from each reading. Let's go to the introductory part. What I'm going to say in the introductory part is what your fellow says. The key terms that are going to be defined before answering the question is betrayal. You need to tell us what we mean by betrayal. It is said to be a state of going against an argument. A state of going going against an argument is what we are calling as a betrayal. Another key term that should be defined is conflict. We said that betrayal causes conflict. What is betrayal? A state of going against an argument. But what is conflict? Refers to misunderstanding between two or more people. A state of misunderstanding. What we call as a conflict. You need, right from the introductory part, as the question instructed you to prove the statement, you need to tell us that it is true that betrayal is one among the source of conflict. In many societies, acts is related to the breakdown or to break the bond between people. People being in love, people being in a good relationship. When it comes to an issue of betrayal, the relationship will be stopped there. That is the introductory part. Still in the introductory part, you can see that this statement can be proved by the list of reading that we are going to use. From the first question, we have said that we need to show the books that we are going to use. Here, we are going to use an answering price. It is written in a capital letter and put in inverted comma. The statement can be proved by an answering price written by Osman Conte and Passing Like a Shadow, which is written by Benani Akalala. All these things should be put in the introductory part. Admitting or proving the statement, defining key terms, identifying the books that we are going to use. Still in the same paragraph. Let's go to the main body, dear students. In the main body, you need to show which book are you going to start with. But you have to bear in mind that in every point you need to show an issue of betrayal. You have to show how betrayal leads to conflict and what is happening in our society. The author shows how betrayal causes conflict in the society as follows. Point number 1. Betrayal. First of all, you need to show the betrayal. Ade Jones betrays Oya. These are the characters. Ade Jones betrays Oya. How he betrays Oya. So you need to show it in the sequence. You show the betrayal, how the betrayal, and to focus, to reflect to our modern societies. Ade Jones betrays Oya by having love affair with the other women. This leads to conflict between them. So there is an issue of betrayal. The man Ade Jones betrays his loved one Oya by having relationship, by establishing love affair with other women. These things led into conflict between them. So you have identified the betrayal and you have shown the conflict that he raised after betrayal. Now turning to our society. In our society, we have people like Ade Jones. We have people like Ade Jones who betray their partners, something that creates lots of trouble or misunderstanding. Now in the same point, my dear students, we have touched 3 things. As the question makes us, you have shown the betrayal and how that betrayal led into conflict, and thereafter turning to the contemporary society. That is what we are referring as the relevance. The question needs you to show the relevancy to our society. Whatever is happening in these societies is also happening to our contemporary society. So in each point that there have been 33 elements. Let's go to another point in the same book. In the same book, Edward Hall in the unanswered cries. Edward Cole betrays Olabis. That is betrayal. Edward Cole betrays Olabis. How? By revealing the truth in the court that he is in love affairs with Olabis. So number one is the betrayal. How that betrayal happened? How is that betrayal? Swear Edward Cole and Olabis were friends, boyfriend and girlfriend. They have their own love. They engage in love affairs. Going back to the question, which stated that betrayal is a state of going against an agreement. They agreed that Olabis told Edward Cole that not to say anything in the court of law. Don't say if they have love affairs. But when in the court, when they appear in the court of law, swear Edward Cole revealed the truth. That means he betrays Olabis. After that, the situation led into conflict between Olabis and Edward Cole. What is that? We have shown the betrayal, how Edward Cole betrayed Olabis. And we also have shown the conflict that raised after. And turning to our contemporary society, we have a lot of people like Edward Cole who betrays their loved one. That is the relevance of the statement. So whatever betrayal is led to conflict, that is the applicability of that issue being expressed by the author. Let's go to another betrayal. That is number 3. Betrayal between Amadu and Makalai. Amadu is a hunter, if you remember. Amadu is a hunter, and Makalai is the mother of Olabis. There is a betrayal between Amadu and Makalai. Where? How? This is where the man that is Amadu allowed Olabis to escape from being circumcised. Olabis was trying to run away. She was trying to run away so that she can escape from being circumcised. The Makalai asked Amadu, don't let Olabis to pass it through. But when corrupted by Olabis, given money by Olabis, Amadu allowed Olabis to escape. That means, that's why we said that Amadu betrays Makalai. Went against the agreement. How about that issue in our society? We have these people like Amadu, where they betray their friends for different purposes. People betray their friends, their loved one for different purposes. One might be love affairs. You can betray your loved one by engaging into love affairs. But for this case, Amadu was after money. So the betrayal is there to fulfill different desires of such particular person. That is all about the first reading. That is unanswered cries. Let us turn now to another novel. That is fascinating, The Shadow. The author uses a hearing to prove this statement. We have different characters. Let's go directly to the one who can give us to show the betrayal. Ariel betrays his wife, Amoti. Amoti is the wife of Ariel. How the man betrays his wife? By establishing love affairs with another woman. That is Girundi, the former secretary, when Ariel was teaching. That was the headmaster. Now the secretary called Girundi is where now Ariel engaged into love affairs. Therefore, they say that the man betrays his wife. That thing led into conflict. We have seen the family separated, where Ariel went to live with Girundi, and Amoti with her children started to live themselves. That is the conflict led into separation. Then turning to our society, we have these people, even in our Tanzanian society, there are some people like Ariel. We have so many people like Ariel who betray their loved ones, something like which led into misunderstanding, or we can say it, conflict. In the same book, another betrayal is between Adieri being betrayed by Birungi. The man that Adieri was betrayed by his concubine Birungi. Adieri being engaged with the husband of Amoti, the man established love affairs with another woman, that is Birungi. We call her his concubine. Having love affairs apart from your wife, having love affairs with another woman. Birungi being the concubine of Adieri, the woman betrays Adieri. In which circumstance? When Adieri was chased away by Birungi. When he was chased away by Birungi, when he was sick. At the time Adieri was having money, they were in good terms with the scorpion. When Adieri was sick, after being infected, chased away from his work as a headmaster. Now the man was living in a poor condition. It's where Birungi chased Adieri. That's why we can say that this is the betrayal. How about the issue in our society? This also occurs, is very common in our contemporary society. We have people like this, these girls, women, they have such habit of betraying their loved one, especially when they have problems, when they have problems. So this is also common in our contemporary society. It is something that they do breakdown of relationship with their loved one, maybe for different reasons, maybe health problems, as the case of Adieri. Sometimes the financial status, it may lead into betrayal. Okay, students, let's discuss about another betrayal that appears in the same book, just like a shadow. Abuki, the sister of Adieri, the sister of Amoti, was betrayed by her friend John. The betrayal is between, Johnny betrays Abuki. In which circumstance? By that time, Johnny, the man pretends to be a good friend of Olabis. But later on, by using other means that putting drugs into the drink of Abuki, the man fulfilled to desire by rape, he raped that girl unknowingly. By using drugs, the woman was very cautious. That man take the chance to rape her, something that led into conflict between them. This practice is very common. It is also it's also occurring in our current situation, where people betrayed by their loved one, their relatives, their friends, for different reasons. Now that is all about the readings. Now let us wind up this work by conclusion. By conclusion, we can state it in a different way, depending on your views. But for this case, let me say that you can conclude it by saying that betrayal being a source of conflict, betrayal being a source of conflict as revealed by the authors of the two books we have discussed. The society has to stop such a practice as it affects people in all affairs of life. People being betrayed, they can be affected psychologically, they can be affected mentally, financially, and in other aspects of life. Therefore, we have to stop such a practice. Okay, dear students? Okay, what's it? I want you to, let me insist that when you start to answer this question, I repeat, you need to reread this question in order to identify the things or important things that you are going to touch when answering this question. For this case, we have identified that in that question we were needed to talk about betrayal to show the betrayal in every point. Also, how that betrayal led into conflict. And lastly, you need to turn into relevance. That is talking about